All right, I'm going to go ahead and start. So thanks everyone for joining us. Welcome to our new employee development brown bag lunch discussion. We thought it might be a good opportunity with the fall semester starting up to kick off by discussing self-care and what does that mean? I've wanted to get involved on the bigger level since I started at USU in December of 2023. And so I took this opportunity to get involved with the SEA Employee Development Committee. So what does that mean? Well, we're going to learn about some self-care topics. And so we're looking forward to learning about how to thrive, excuse me, from thriving to thriving and prioritizing self-care. Um, and I've personally been on my own little quest for self-care the last 5 years or so because I'm in IT profession and I have been for quite some time. So doing things to prioritize my self-care in the workplace and at home has been a priority for me. And so hopefully we all have some kind of support system in our lives, whether it's a spouse or significant other, family member or friends, because as the saying goes, well, you can't pour from an empty bucket. So let's learn a little bit more about self-care. So who are we? Sorry, guys, I'm a little nervous. Who is SEA and the Employee Development Committee? Well, Mackenzie and I were new to this position, so we are jumping in head first and decided we want to do self-care. So anyway, basically, we're going to be doing a lot of these brown bag lunches over the next few months. So basically, coming soon to an inbox near you. So stay tuned for our next topics. But anyway, thank you for joining us today. So basically, I'm an Aggie through and through. I've been around USU for quite a while. I'm proud to be back at USU, and I'm also nature level. So if I'm not at work, you'll find me out either hiking or playing in my kayak. I'm a kayaking enthusiast. That's one of the ways I take care of myself. I'll talk more about my kayaking adventures a little later and give the Be Well program a little plug because it's a good program. But in my other spare time, I do love to take a spontaneous road trip. I'm a road trip junkie, and I'm a proud geo geek because I'm actually a geographer at heart. So that's where I got my BS degree is in my geography. So I'll let Mackenzie take a moment and introduce herself a little bit.
All right. So I am also a proud Aggie alumni. Happy to be here. Um, I just love spending time with my family and friends when we can be together doing stuff. And I'm also an outdoor enthusiast. I love being outside. If I can be in the mountains, especially, or on a horse. I grew up farming and ranching and just love that kind of stuff. And that kind of leads to the country roots. So I guess I'm a country bumpkin, I guess. I don't know. But so happy to be here. Love being a part of USU, and we're so excited to be helping provide these trainings and things, having other people come in and do this. We're just excited to be here.
Thanks, Mackenzie. So what is self-care? What does it mean exactly? So self-care, it's anything you do intentionally to take care of your physical, mental, and emotional health. It's not selfish, it is essential. It is a priority, both professionally and personally. Hence, you cannot serve from an empty bucket. And I'll say that a lot through this because seriously, you cannot, and I work in a helping profession and I've got to take care of myself. Um, so what does this phrase self-care mean? Let's dig a little deeper with some tips and tricks. So one of the things I do is I encourage breaks, even if it means I walk down to my fellow coworker instead of sending that email, walk down, get a drink, and I highly recommend drinking lots of water. It's good for your mental exertion. You want to normalize mental health conversations, create a safe space if you can at work for discussing stress, burnout, and emotional challenges. Because it's okay to say you're not okay and you just need a minute to regroup. So, and if you can, offer some resources, just even a listening ear. That's what I like to encourage my students to. I am at least a good listener. And then there's some mindfulness apps. And again, I'm going to give a plug later, little later on again for the Be Well program here at USU for all the benefited employees. So basically, again, you want to, why self-care matters. It's you want to eat properly, meaning don't always just reach for the chocolate and the donuts. Try to get some protein and some other nutritious things. I try to keep things like nuts at my desk for if those that can eat nuts and things. But again, 15 minutes of mental exertion, sorry, causes dehydration. So drink water. Don't just be hydrated, but drink water so it can help your brain, because your brain is very heavy on uh, moisture. Sorry, my brain. Obviously, maybe I need a drink of water. Anyway, one thing I like to do is I make sure I do meal prep during the week, so that when I get home later at night, don't just grab for the bad snacks. I try to eat healthier. But I find that doing some of the self-care on the weekends of meal prep, if you can, helps me to be able to make better choices for eating for energy instead of eating for my feelings and things. And then you want to establish goals for yourself. So why does it matter if you have your own personal goals? Well, taking care of your self-care is highly important. And so again, I do meal prep, choose healthy snacks, and again, understanding the benefits offered to the programs like the Be Well program. And be mindful, take your breaks, don't just always work through lunch. And I know we're all busy, but it's important to just, even if you take a 10-15 minute break, sometimes I've been known to go find a place where I might find a nice park to go drive to for my lunch and just take a quick 10-15 minute nap if I'm able to get away. But also it's things like, we have things like the Employee Assistance Program. Reach out if you're having extra problems. There are programs out there, and it's okay to say you're not okay and just need somebody else to listen to for a minute. Um, things like physical self-care, ergonomics at your workplace, your own desk. It's like move your chair around or bring in maybe a different picture, updated picture of your friends or family that you want to help you stay positive during the day. And then basically, movement friendly environment. So again, encourage each other to maybe take the walk to your at the stairs, take the stairs. Sorry, guys. Take the stairs every once in a while instead of always using the elevator if you can. And again, because that 10-minute little walk you do, you'll be surprised at how much that really gives you that boost, even if you're tired. And again, respect each other's boundaries, encourage your coworkers' life work balance, and try to discourage after hours communication if you're in a position where you can not have to work after hours. And then look for in your professional self-care, look for growth opportunities, support things like your own personal development, professional development, and just keep learning. And then celebrate your achievements, and give yourself constructive not criticism, feedback. Sorry, guys, because we are our own worst enemies at times. And then just, empower each other at work to kind of trust each other because communication is key to all of this. If you have bad self-talk, you kind of probably putting that out into the world kind of thing. And again, I want to give a plug to the wellness program. Here's the website down here. If you just go to usu.edu/HR wellness, you can get signed up if you haven't, because I've been here just shy of 2 years, and I've earned enough money to buy a new kayak. So I was pretty excited about doing all the little challenges in there, because it's actually real money that you can earn to do these little self-care challenges, and it pays off. So it's just a really cool program that they offer. So again, the types of self-care, again, physical. So that means the sleep, exercise, nutrition. And it's just helpful. It improves your mood, it improves emotional resilience. And I know for myself, I have real problems with getting enough sleep. And I can't blame it on children because I don't have any. So it's my own fault. But anyway, just making sure you're taking time to, maybe you just need to write something down that's been bothering you, that you just need to kind of get it out and let it go kind of thing. And I know it's not always easy to do. It's easier said than done. But and then basically I have a friend that we give each other a 10-minute vent session on we try to get together once a month and just, let it out. We have somebody we can just safely get our feelings out, and sometimes just journaling things down, like I said. And then again, it will, some of the physical health benefits, it boosts your cardiovascular health and your immune function. So you're not keeping everything in, because that's kind of thing can help you not feel as well or be sickly. And again, it helps you maintain a healthy weight and lifestyle. And it helps with the cognitive and productivity boosts. It helps improve focus and memory, enhances creativity and some problem solving. And I know when I take a break and put my eyes on an IT problem a little later, it helps me kind of rethink and go, oh, it's something simple because I literally took a 5-10 minute break to whether it's go get a drink or some fresh air, and I can just look at something a little differently, and it helps a lot. And the one thing I know a lot of people are guilty of is just mindless social media scrolling because we're just tired at the end of the day and we just don't really want to think about anything. But sometimes the technology can just kind of take it out of us instead of helping us feel more relaxed. And so sometimes I'm guilty of the mindless scrolling, and because I'm a fear of missing out on all the fun things in the world. So, but also social media can also help with self-care by encouraging social interaction, because you can find group activities that help possibly build some confidence and self-esteem and basically help you feel a sense of accomplishment and just increase your quality of life and doing those different aspects. And again, it's just taking the time really to say it's okay to take time for yourself because we all are very busy people. And again, what is the power of self-care? That's it. Again, I can't iterate this enough. It is not selfish. It is essential. It empowers us to show up as our best selves at work, at home, and in our communities. The power of self-care refers to the significant positive impact that taking care of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being can have on your overall health and quality of life. It's about intentionally doing things that support your body, mind, and spirit so you can function at your best. So, what does it mean to practice self-care? Again, I'm going to say this a lot and kind of repeat myself, but eating nutritious food, exercising. I've gotten into a routine of the last couple of years that I get up and I usually hit the pool 3 days a week to do my self-care, to just manage um, my nutrition, my exercising and my weight and things of that nature. And it's just a good way to I really enjoy the water, and so I just really enjoy getting into the water whenever I can. So that's part of what I do for emotional self-care too, because it helps me manage my stress and it helps me practice my mindfulness. And sometimes afterwards, I'll journal what I was thinking during the pool so I can not carry that around with me to hopefully offset some of my mental self-care and things like learning a new skill. I've started reading some books about just building successful teams and things like that. So what I'm trying to learn how to give back to my team I work with and how I can make a better team for myself at work. And then again, my social self-care is like, am I hanging out with people that are like-minded, such as, we're trying to build each other up instead of tearing each other down and just trying to be, I try to lead by example out there and just be around like-minded people. And again, stimulate your mind. Find something that a hobby that stimulates your mind. That it doesn't necessarily require you to use electricity, meaning unplug from technology because we're always plugged in nowadays. And again, I'm in the helping profession, so and I'm a caretaker also. So it's just a lot of, it's okay to just take that extra drive, take the scenic route home if you can, if you like to drive. And then on spiritual self-care, find an activity that you find a sense of purpose or peace, like meditation or spending time in nature is what I love to do. That's where I find a lot of self-care. So why is it powerful to do your own self-care? Well, again, it reduces stress, it reduces burnout, and improves your mood and mental clarity. I know I try to focus on my self-care so I can think before I speak, because sometimes maybe I'm just hangry because I haven't taken my 5-minute break to have a healthy snack. And then again, it enhances just your overall health and your longevity. So therefore, you're gonna have a better quality of life. So again, the 3 levels of understanding, you have a beginner level, which basically is like, how do I begin? What does it mean to even self-care? What does it mean? What is it important? So it's just, again, just focus on, are you tired? Are you hangry? And maybe you need a power nap. So, and that's okay to find, like I said, find that little space if you can. But just again, just taking those breaks when use your vacation time, that's why we have vacation time to go out and see the world and not just stay home. Or if you're people out there that like to stay home and do your hobbies at home, that's okay too. Staycations are important, but just use your time off. It's vital. That's why they give it to us, to be work-life balance to it's not just a myth. It really does happen. Um, so that some of the intermediate levels, so you want to start building supportive habits, such as I mentioned, I've started swimming 3 days a week, and I've gotten in that routine over the last few years, and it's just fun to meet new people when you do new hobbies and things of this nature. Um, And then setting some boundaries. You can, we talked about the mindfulness journaling. The big one for me is saying no when overwhelmed, or maybe I have three people needing me at the same time of day. And so it's just, ask, yeah, it's okay to ask for help, but maybe put a positive spin on it. So it's not always your manager having to come up with a solution. Maybe talk about solution-oriented ideas instead of just always a problem. And then some of the advanced levels of care, basically, just think about ways you can prevent burnout. Again, I find that talking to a couple of my girlfriends is a really great way to just kind of de-stress and be like, you know what, I'm not alone in this. We got this. And just designing, things to reflect on. Again, and seeking therapy or coaching to align with your lifestyle and personal goals. It's okay, because there's always, it seems to be a stigma. It's like, oh, you're in therapy. Well, it's okay. And again, just saying no in the workplace, that's a big one, because sometimes you can't always say no to your manager because, well, this is part of your job, is to do all these other duties as assigned, right? And so just share your current capacity. Like maybe right now I'm at full capacity with, name your task or your deadline, and maybe offer an alternative, such as, would it be possible to prioritize this over another task that I needed to do before the end of the day? Or is it okay if I stay late to get this done? Because that would mean overtime. And so, just be flexible with your different managers that you work with, or different clients that you might have. And then just always stay professional and positive, and just be something like, I want to make sure I can give this my full attention it deserves. Can we, circle back to this, or something of that nature? So just be mindful of that. And it's okay to, ask the boss to revisit your tasks at hand. And then some of the ways to include self-care in the workplace, value your time, value each other's time. We all have only so many hours in the day that we are supposed to be here. And then again, celebrate your accomplishments, whether it's just you organized your desk today, or you followed up with the, user that you were working with. And then take time to reflect and make sure you're on um, path for your, growing in your profession, doing the things you want to do um, in your role. And then again, like I said, update your workspace and bring in a picture or something that kind of brings you joy to look at, or, something of that nature. Because it'll just help reduce your mental focus, mental clarity. It'll just help you improve your concentration. And again, it helps your emotional regulation during high pressure tasks. If you have a kind of a not so crazy desk, I know I'm get terrible when I just push stuff onto my desk and say, I'll get to that. I come back to my desk at the end of the day and it's just, it's a mess. And so I have to take a moment to just clean up things at the end, before the end of the day. And then again, I just want to focus on some of the areas that you need improvement, like balance, life balance, sorry, balance. Life balance, it is not a myth. It really is. It can happen. I've been working on it, and it is a daily task you have to do, just like you get up and brush your teeth. Self-care, it's one of those tasks you do every day. And these are just a few of the different ways that I've kind of been focusing on. And one of the big ones I've been focused on the last few months is my team culture and the morale on the current team I work with. I'm trying to build trust through boundary setting and through communication with them. And I can see little tiny improvements. So I'm pretty proud of myself for making these strides towards creating a better team, even though I'm not the manager of the team, but I can manage the way I deal with my team. And so again, it just helps me to have a better performance and productivity, and it enhances my job satisfaction. So, because I would just like to kind of reiterate what my students have taught me. I'm here for a good time, not a long time, possibly, but it's just try to have fun in the workplace too, if we can. And then basically, again, I'm going to give another plug for the wellness program because the Be Well, it's again our Utah State's employee wellness program. It's for benefited employees. The program is a service focused on 8 different interconnected dimensions of wellness. It focuses on physical, emotional, social, intellectual, environmental, spiritual, occupational, and financial well-being. And they encourage employees to adopt and sustain healthy lifestyle behaviors that support the work-life balance, increases work satisfaction, and reduces healthcare costs through awareness and prevention. Their mission is to support employees in making healthy choices to enhance their home and work life by providing high-quality education services, facilities, and resources to create a culture of wellness at Utah State. Like I said, I have earned enough in wellness rewards to buy a kayak to keep on doing my self-care that I really enjoy. So basically that's kind of my presentation in self-care, but we appreciate you. Do you guys have any questions or concerns or anything that we can maybe take the last few minutes to discuss? This is me and Kinsey and I's contact information. If you have any questions about this, we're happy to kind of try to fill them. But like I said, we look forward to doing these brown bag lunches with you guys, and look forward to your inbox for the upcoming. Each month we'll do a brown bag for half hour, maybe not quite. Thank you, everyone. Well, if nobody has any questions or thoughts, we'll just give you guys a few minutes back and enjoy maybe go outside and maybe not get wet. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining. Have a great day.